Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 135 of the Unknown Games podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Alex, who is slowly creeping through the darkness of life. There has been a profound change in what the Game Duck once was. And now I think we have to fill.
What's up?
What's up, man? I was gonna keep going. I was like, okay, where can I go with this? I know you kept the song going. Like last time, you actually cut the song off a little early. This time, you're like, let me keep it going just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I wonder if that actually gets the copyright.
Oh, like an actual DMC. I mean, me talking over it, does that actually help anything?
Probably not.
Oh, well, we can always try. But, thanks everyone for joining us. If you're live here on YouTube, you can always tune in on YouTube at 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time, which is very early if you're in the Western Hemisphere. If you're in Europe or Australia, any of those places. I love how I said Europe and Australia. Like, well, Australia technically is a continent.
Just no other countries or continents in the West.
Yeah. Feel free to tune in and subscribe to the channel. We're putting videos up every once in a while, as much as we can, and it's always it's a great time. So we thank you for your support, and of course, we don't just stream here on YouTube. We also stream on Twitch. Where can they find you, Alex?
That's twitch.tv/root24. Just ROUT24. Yeah.
And you can follow me.
Spelled out or anything, yeah. Just numbers.
Yeah. You can follow me at NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix. We stream pretty much. I stream 4 days a week. He streams 2 days a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays. I stream Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So essentially, you can catch us same time, same place. Usually playing some good old games, having fun. Both have great communities, so go ahead and follow us there. And of course, last but not least, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
UGP_cast. I was thinking about changing the intro, and I was like, how do I change the intro? What do I do? What should I do? What can I do? And I'm just like, I don't know. Today has been like kind of a little bit of an off day in terms of like the weather was like rainy here in Japan. And I don't know, like I guess sometimes rainy weather just kind of sets you up for just like kind of a down day, I don't know if that's the same for you or anyone else.
I don't know. I don't really think about it too much. I know a lot of people are affected by the weather. So when it's rainy, they kind of like, I don't know, I guess they're kind of like downbeat as well. I don't really like, I don't know. I've never really put that much thought into it. I am just tired though. Like, I presume from work, but I don't know. Yeah.
From I mean, you did play that song, and maybe that's the subconsciousness of that is just going.
Well, I was just really. I mean, after work was done, I was like, I made dinner, and then I was like, I don't know, I was really tired after that. So.
Yeah, I actually made dinner tonight, which was nice. I mean, I've been on this horrible spree of not making dinner, but still trying to eat within healthy bounds. But hey, there's only so much you can do, right? Of Uber and all that type of stuff, right? So I have to reel it back in. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the state of play that happened on the 2nd of June last week. And we're going to be checking if what we got was, what we predicted, if that was right or not. I think we actually were pretty, maybe 1 out of 5 things, 1 out of 6 things we got.
I at least got like one thing right. Yeah, but
we got at least one thing.
I didn't see most of that coming, I think. Yeah, I didn't see any of that coming, honestly.
Which was really strange in terms of like, we literally walked around the most predictable stuff.
Yeah. Well, I had a feeling Capcom was going to show up, right?
We did predict that Capcom and Square Enix were probably going to be the big kind of
I got
who showed
one
up for the show.
I figured Square would be there with 16, and I was right. But
and they were, and of course Capcom was there with Resident Evil, and Resident Evil 4 a remake, HD
Yep.
remake, well, just remake in general.
I think
And
it's
then
full on remake. Yeah.
it's full on remakes, following the vein of 2 and 3,
Three. Yep.
and then of course they also had the Village DLC. Well, it's not DLC; it's just Village VR, officially modded in, not modded, but official support that'll be coming for PSVR 2, and same thing with RE4. That's gonna have VR support as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess I have it on the screen, but we can just kind of talk first of all, like what do we, if we watched the show, what we thought about it, just kind of thoughts initially, and then we can go and break some stuff down. So I mean, what were your impressions of the show?
I mean, okay. Honestly, I forgot about it because it was like 7 a.m. and I was sleeping at the time. And then when I woke up, I like
That we predicted. That we did predict.
that I wasn't gonna. Yeah, like
You'd be sleeping. Yep.
yeah, and I was. There's no way I was wake up for it anyways. Yeah. No, I woke up and then I like started working, and then I guess an hour or two into work, I was like, oh shit, state of play stuff. And then I was like, let me just look this up. Let me just Google this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my initial impression was like, oh, that's really cool. I got the super Cliff Notes version of it because I just went to like Reddit or Kotaku or whatever, and I'm like, hey, just give
Mm-hmm.
me the goods. Like, what was it? And it was like 4 or 5 things, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
Right.
No, most of it it was honestly a little unexpected for me, just because I didn't think about it. Like the RE4 remake, for instance, is cool. It was rumored for a long time, right?
A long time. Yeah.
So I think somewhere in the back of my mind, I kind of knew it was going to happen just because like it was rumored so long ago that at the time I was just like, oh yeah, RE4 remake, that's super cool, and that kind of makes sense. And then I just forgot about it after months and months and months ago. So
Right.
when it finally was like announced, I was just oh yeah, of course. I think if it wasn't leaked and we were able to be like really surprised by it, then I think I would have been like way more hype over it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it's like announced and official and real, and I'm like, okay, that's great, that's good, good for Resi 4.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
but I do wonder now that they've remade 2, 3, and 4 if they're going to do anything in regards to 5 and 6, or are those games a little too
That's
new?
That's a good
Yeah, too
question
modern. Yeah,
because technically 4, which has been remade, been ported to a bunch of systems, does
remastered. Yeah, imported.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have the HD remaster that you can buy now, of course.
Hmm.
And then there's like the super fan HD remaster for it. But of course, it's like you said, it's the remake, and um, what will they be doing different for? I know that it seems like story wise, they're going to be presenting it from maybe a different angle in terms of how Leon comes into the story, or the framing it differently is what I've heard. Um, and that's cool. But like you said, will they do? You know what? I think they'll do 5.
Really?
I think they will go as far as to
I
do
guess because
5, but
5
not
is
6. 6 is like
yeah, because
just remaking a game completely, right? It feels like.
six is like 10 years old now. About that.
Yeah, about 10 years.
Yeah,
Yep,
6
yep.
is about 10. 5 is like a little bit more than 10 years old, so 5 may be possible. But I'm wondering because like now they're doing remakes, and kind of bringing the series, like it's pulling it into a more cohesive kind of feel in terms of tone and gameplay.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I wonder if they're going to just like go back and do a remake of 1 just to make it feel a
Oh
little closer
goodness.
to to
Would
the modern ones
would they?
now.
Because the actual Resident Evil remake that they did for the original one, it was actually pretty solid. Like both
It's
times they've
good.
done
It's
it, yeah,
super good.
it's super
Yeah, it's
good.
super good.
Right.
But it's more or less basically just like a mega like
Keeping it,
polished. Yeah,
yeah, keep it
it's like
congruent with each other.
it's a remaster. It's a really good remaster. It's in terms of graphics and everything. But in terms of like gameplay and stuff, perspective,
Hmm.
they didn't change it. It's still fixed camera. It's still the kind of like tanky controls. So that's just 1. They didn't touch it because I think at the time they were just like, this is perfect. This is good. Like this is Resi 1. This is our image, our vision of Resi 1. And
Yep.
then they went and they remade 2 and 3, and those are obviously modern games now, right? They play like a lot like a modern game. They look really
Exactly.
good. Now they're gonna do the same thing for 4. So now I think, and well, the remakes kind of now match the newer games. They match 7 and Village, right?
Right. Right.
So I'm like, I don't know, like, are they going to touch 1 again? Because a lot of people consider the last release of it to be like the perfect version of 1.
Yeah. Which
Um,
it like it, honestly, it had 9s. I don't know what they would do to make it different outside of actually
Like
changing
it
the
has to be like a
perspective.
complete well remake. It has to be a full remake, so
A
it
full
can't
remake, yeah.
be. Yeah, it wouldn't
It
be
can't
a
be
locked camera
a
perspective
lock
anymore.
camera.
But yeah, and the mansion itself, the design of the level design is made obviously with that camera in mind. You turn into a free camera, and the I would say the game probably would fall apart a little bit. It just the gameplay is meant with that camera in mind, right? The level design is meant with that camera in mind.
Right,
So
right.
it would have to be like a full-on remake. And at that point, like, is it worth it? Like, do they really want
Is
to
it
do that?
worth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with that one, I feel like they don't really need. I don't feel like they need to bring it back for that one. And I feel like there's a reason why they started with two for the remake part, right? Instead of going back and remaking one first
Mhm.
again, even though, you know, I'm sure maybe one day it actually will happen, right? They get to the end of the line, they get to
Right.
five, maybe six. Six would be interesting because six is 6 was pretty much just full HD, full 3D. That's almost, I feel like they'd be correcting story parts
Yeah, I
for
was
that
talking to a
game,
friend about
you
this.
know?
Yeah, and I think like if they wanted to remake six, it wouldn't be. It would be better served to be like a retelling, essentially kind of like, because the gameplay of six is really.
It's good.
I think
It's
this the
good.
series
Six
the
has good
series
gameplay.
the series was going in an action direction at the time, right? You
Right,
could
right.
see it change like with five a little bit. It was like I would say a little less scary and more tense, and then
Hmm.
six just went in a weird kind of action movie direction,
Very much
and
an
that's
action
what.
movie.
Yeah, and that's when seven came out. You could see the series. It was celebrated at the time. Like the series pulled back to its survival horror roots. People were happy that it was less action movie and more like actual like scary, tense kind of thing, right?
And they managed to keep some action elements in it, but it's very much um no quick time events going down. It's just more like the pacing is very actiony. Like I felt like when I played 7, it was just like, wow, this I felt like I was in a horror thriller movie. And
Yeah,
it was really good. It was really
and I
good.
think, well, I mean, like, and the DLC for Seven, Not a Hero with Chris, that's kind of when they were like, okay, now you have all your guns. Like now you can have like your action movie kind
Kind
of
of feel.
sequence.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the main game itself, we're just playing as Ethan. That's just like, um, it's less like you
It's
weren't like guns
you
out. You
can't
didn't
mode
have like
things
all your
down.
guns. Yeah. So I think that was celebrated at the time for a more return to survival horror. So six was definitely like about to six is like definitely that. So if they wanted to redo six to bring it in line with Village, and the remakes, I think they have to redo the story so you're less and the gameplay, I guess, so you're less like shooty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And there were some good sequences in that game. That game had some good sequences. Every once in a while you would get to them. I like the Leon part where you're kind of in the graveyard and it felt a little bit more Resident Evil-y as but I mean, it's very much still action at one point. So,
Yeah,
uh
I think six, if I'm not mistaken, six is the most critically panned Resident Evil game, right?
yeah, yeah.
No, I'm on the main line. I'm not counting
Oh, the
like
main
Raccoon
line.
City. Yeah, I'm not like the other weird
The
stuff.
other
So
multiplayer stuff. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that doesn't count. But I think six is probably the worst received, if I'm not mistaken.
It
Right.
is, and honestly, it's just because of the story stuff. I mean, and you could look at RE5 and be like, "Oh, that story wasn't that good either," but at least it was congruent. It was cohesive. It was fun playing co-op.
Yeah, five was pretty weird, honestly. Honest,
Five,
but
five,
well,
five,
yeah,
five was on some stuff. Five was on some
yeah,
stuff,
five was
but
weird. I'm kind of glad that Seven and Village kind of pulled it back to. I don't know. It's still wacky when you really think about it. If you really think of the story of Seven and Eight and Village, it's still kind of
mhm.
weird. But like, the tonality of it makes it a little more like believable. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Much
Yeah.
more believable, and the location. Honestly, the location is much more believable in 7. I haven't played Village yet. That's next on my list. But for 7, I think it's set out in the bayou in Louisiana, and it
Yeah.
feels like a real place. And I'm pretty sure parts of it might even just be based off of a real spot for the
Yeah,
most part.
probably. I don't know.
So
Yeah, I know. So that was Capcom, and they also brought in Street Fighter 6, which honestly I kind of wasn't expecting, even though they
I
had already
what?
announced it. I just didn't
Yeah,
even think
right,
about it. You know what I mean?
right.
I
It
just
was
like I
like
knew. Yeah,
yeah, it was like stuff like you said. It was stuff that was like in your face, obvious, but for some reason we were expecting like we were hoping for like I don't know some weird surprise. Like we were hoping for
I was,
Pragmata at least a little
yeah, I was
bit,
hoping for
maybe,
Pragmata
right?
too. Yeah.
Maybe more of that
Um,
multiplayer Dino Crisis like shooter.
yeah. So we knew six already existed. Like they already announced six. I just don't know why I didn't assume Capcom would show more at the event, but they did. You
They
know,
did,
so
they did.
that's cool. Yeah. I mean, so what did you think of the trailer for six? So that was pretty
Yo,
wild.
6 was wild. Honestly, I walked out. I walked out of the whole entire conference thing. Like I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it,
Mm.
but for some reason, 6 stood out the most to me because that is the most kind of a change to the series, to the franchise. It was like it's fresh, it's new. They're going back and they're doubling down on the hip hop soundtrack and even the redesigns for the characters.
Yeah, and
I
the art
like
style is pretty insane.
yeah.
It's a step further from what four started, right? Four or five,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
because four
yeah,
and five are kind of similar, right? Five's a little bit more similar to four,
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
but then this is more. A lot of people will say like Third Strike influences as well, for the street culture and stuff. But it's
Yeah,
just
I think this is a sequel to Third Strike. This is the finally the last game in the timeline.
if we can only hope. I mean, all the
Because
characters are.
four,
I think it's 30 years. Did someone say 30 years
30,
from
maybe three, maybe
from like four? I don't know. Maybe it's three. Maybe it's X amount of years
four.
from four for
So four,
sure.
four and five are mid quels, right? Because the timeline is like one, two, four, five, three, and now six, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys even, if
I'm
anyone
gonna I'm
gives
gonna
a
say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
yeah, if
Street
anyone
Fighter lore
cares
isn't
about,
exactly like in
yeah,
it, but that's what's kind of cool about this is that for a lot of people, including myself, Street Fighter lore, Street Fighter story, it's always in like the arcade mode, and it doesn't really give you a lot, right? You kind of
yeah,
know
yeah,
some
yeah,
things. But they tell some more stuff in comics and art books, the information about the game. But this game has a story mode, like an actual story mode that you'll be
yeah,
able to walk around, meet characters like Chun Li or something, talk to them. Maybe you'll get like story influences of like relationships, like who did this and like maybe why someone's doing this. Like that's cool for me, you know,
yeah. So
because
you have like a weird hub world that looks like,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
and then I presume you'll get into street fights in that hub world, I guess.
yeah. I can bring the website up really quickly. Let me minimize the trailer because I thought their website. Honestly, this website was done so well. I've never because when they revealed it, it was a small trailer, and obviously they had all this stuff just ready to go. Because this website breaks down everything in the trailer exactly the way you would kind of want it. So you were talking about the Battle Hub, I believe, which is okay. That's just the multiplayer. That's just like actual multiplayer. But I think you're talking about World Tour. So World Tour is an immersive single player story mode. This is a completely new experience that defines genre labels. Carve out your own legend on the streets because we saw like someone had kind of a create a character
Oh, so it's
type.
custom character stuff.
Yeah, and they'll be announcing more on that. But yeah, in the trailer, you can actually see someone um, like walking up to someone else, and it just says fight. I don't know if that's
Mm,
like a Pokemon type deal where you're like fighting
I don't know.
people. You're street fighting, I guess. You're just
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, the name, the series finally lives up to the gameplay now.
so that's cool. It has a few different systems, which I thought were really nice. The drive system, which is it's a completely new thing, but the engine that powers the drive system is available as soon as the round begins, allowing you to fight to your liking. If you spin your entire drive gauge, you'll enter into a burnout state with big disadvantages, but it also replenishes automatically, making meter management a key to the fight. Understanding the system in depth, including when to be conservative and when to gamble, allows for deep, high level battles. And
No,
what they
that's but
mean,
just high risk, high reward. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the ways you can use this, they have the drive impact, drive parries, overdrive, drive rush, and drive reversal. So there's 5 mechanics all tied to 1 meter, um, which hey,
Okay.
I don't know if we want me to break these down, but yeah,
That's kind of like how Guilty Gear manages its meter too, right? Because everything is in
yeah,
one meter for Guilty Gear. Yeah.
yep. Uh, and so it looks like they're kind of answering Street Fighter 5, I believe, didn't have a lot of defensive options, but this is giving you a lot of offense defensive options with the parry. The rush is essentially like a dash cancel.
Mm-hmm.
The impact is a focus attack, so almost like from
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 4. And I think the parry, you hold it down.
So that's
Um,
kind of like the parry from 4? Or no, what was the thing from 4 when you would hold it down and you could counter?
oh, that was
Was it like
that was focus attack.
from 4? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It focus attack worked as a parry as well. Well, not parry, but yeah, it also absorbed the attacks.
It absorbed it,
Um,
yeah. And it
yeah,
gave you some meter for it, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's going to the drive parry. You'll be able to literally cancel out that person's attack. I guess I don't think you'll take any damage. It says automatically repel an opponent's attack and replenish drive when it's performed successfully. They also have a perfect parry, so something maybe similar to like a red parry from Third Strike. So instead of just holding it down, you have a chance to perfect parry it and you know
Oh, and take no chip
and
damage
take
for it,
no
right?
yeah and take no chip damage or something.
Right.
But the risk is if you miss the timing, you're gonna whiff
You get
that
hit.
parry. Yeah,
You,
yeah,
and you'll get hit, right? So
yeah,
that's the parry system from Third Strike, right?
yeah, yeah. And then overdrive is just they got their EX and supers kind of deal. Drive rush, like I said, you can cancel out of a parry. You can dash forward from it or cancel out of your attack, I assume, and rush forward. Which is, I mean, I just didn't think they would have all this information ready and just put like
It's
they were that
crazy
far along.
that dashing burns meter. Like, yeah.
Well this specific dash, yeah, perform a quick rush forward from from a drive parry or a cancelable normal attack. So this used to be in 4, it was like a FADC, it was a focus attack dash cancel,
And
right?
yeah, you'd focus attack and dash out of it, yeah. Did that
Yeah,
burn
yeah.
meter? I can't remember.
Uh did that burn me? That's a good
I don't
question.
think it burned meter to do that
I don't think
in
it did.
4.
I think
Yeah.
focus attack never just there was no
Focus
meter.
attack
It was just
never burned meter. If you just
yeah.
whiffed it, you were open for many frames, right?
Right, right, because the longer you held it, the more hits you could absorb.
Right. But if
Um
you held it down and no one hit you, you
you
would
were just
end the animation, but you would just be open for like a full second, right?
right, right, right,
Yeah.
right. So each of these moves cost different amounts of the gauge, and the reversal, of course, is perform a counter while blocking an opponent's attack. The damage is low, but it'll help you get out of the situation. So something get out of the pressure, similar to like V reversal. But the whole thing is that everyone has access to this, and it's just I think that that's really cool, and they even implemented 2 different control schemes. Like I was surprised.
Yeah, one for like classic. Modern is I think kind of like the what is it? The not easy operation, but you know what I mean? Like
It's
it's
the
one button
one.
press.
It's the 1 button, 2 button command type thing. So
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
a
yeah.
fireball. It's almost like I don't want to say smash, but like throw a fireball would be like right in a button, right?
I've
Um,
seen that before.
and
Yeah,
up,
in
yeah.
Capcom versus SNK 2 on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
So you'll have access to that. They, like I said, all this stuff is on the website. If you were at all curious about Street Fighter, like I said, Hadoken with a single button, or Tatsumaki Senpu Kyaku. It'll be like over in triangle, left triangle is Shoryuken, down triangle is the high blade kick for Ryu. Um, that sort of thing. You can choose between assisted combos, all that type of stuff. Anyways, if you're
I
curious about this,
wonder. I wonder when they
check it
start
out.
doing tournaments for 6 if they're going to mandate a specific control scheme.
It seems like both of these control schemes, if are perfectly okay. Because Dragon Ball has assisted combos too, right? Auto combos. Dragon Ball Fighters is just full of auto
Yeah,
combos.
but that's kind of like part of the game, I
Design.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like an option. Like just that's just how the game is. In Persona 4 Arena is the same way. Same
Mm,
developers
mm.
actually, Arxis, but this seems like it's a choice. Like when you launch the game, it's like I presume it'll let you pick, right?
It seems like you can choose this at any time. You can change it up. The difference in the control schemes that I was listening to someone break it down, and they were saying that you actually lose your normal attacks for the
In
simple
in modern.
in modern. You lose 2 of your normal attacks. So you know how you have a light attack. Yeah, you can see it right here.
Oh,
I'll
so
I'll
that
blow it
might
up a
that
little
might
bit.
that might what's the word? Handicap you, especially if you're trying to do
Yeah.
frame links. Like you could not maybe do some of those anymore.
Yeah, so it has like light attack, medium attack, a heavy attack, and you have your special, your assist, your parry, all that type of stuff, right? But you don't have them separated when you go into the other control. You don't. They're not separated into the 6 button layout. You literally
Right.
don't have three of your buttons. So you don't have light. You either have, I guess it's like light punch, heavy, well, light, medium, strong punch, and kick for the modern or custom. Wait, what, the classic? Yeah, classic.
Right.
But for the other one, yeah, you just have like light, medium, special,
So you
heavy.
can't choose if it's a punch or a kick.
It's what it seems like. Like
It
it's
it
on
does
this
says it
controller.
just says light attack. It doesn't even.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Is it a light punch? Is it a punch or a kick? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say it, and so I'm just like, you can't really just lose
Does it choose
attacks,
for you
right?
or yeah, yeah.
I'm assuming these assisted combos maybe play into that, so it's automatically
Choosing the one for you.
choosing the ones for you. Yeah, so yeah, it looks like assisted auto combo one. If you hit light, the right trigger, and then light, you'll get Ryu does like that looks like a low light kick, but then he goes into a Hadoken.
Okay, interesting. So it's kind of like yeah, like pre-canned combos then that the game knows will work. If you hit confirm your first hit, it'll automatically like finish the combo for you, right?
Right, right. And in
It-
between any of those things, you can throw in your special or the
yeah,
drive cancel, all that. So it's kind of
as
like your,
long as as long as you hit confirm your first hit, you're good for any of the combos, right?
yeah, yeah, you should
From that
be
hit, yeah.
pretty decent. But the goal is like allows you to perform special attacks and with simple button combinations designed for players who want to fight without memorizing and practicing special move button combinations first. Whereas the classic control is the traditional
Just like
6 button
if
layout.
you played Street Fighter before, yeah.
Yeah, gives you players can
Huh.
freely customize their button layout, allowing wide range of fighting styles, and you have I guess more yeah you have more control, complete control, as they say, over your character.
I wonder if when you join a tournament, if they will mandate like a control type, like you can't use manual for this tournament or something like that. I
It'd
don't
be
know.
interesting. I mean, um, one of them is obviously a bit of a handicap, but we've seen with some games where you do have those handicaps. If you learn it really well, maybe it can be really good. I don't
It
think
could,
it's
yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not, I'll play at high level, but I can imagine it could go both ways. Because like if it's pre-canned combos, someone could learn the combos of manual mode or class modern mode,
mm-mm.
and they'll basically know your whole kit. Because like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like you can it seems like you can kind of improvise a little bit in there, like I said, with doing some of those cancels and kind of stringing them on to other ways. But we'll see how it goes because this game is still not coming out until next. I believe it's next year. And
yeah,
one other addition. This is probably the last thing before we move on. They're adding real time commentary, like Madden or like a sports game.
yeah, interesting. I think that would be. I think that's a fun feature. I don't know if it's a feature that I wanted
Like
personally. If anyone wanted, I don't think anyone asked for
I don't think
this.
anyone
Yeah,
no one asked for it. It's kind of a
yeah,
fun thing, especially if they
but
give
yeah,
you.
but the fact that it's here is like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're. It's not just North American announcers. We got Vicious, and then we've also got one of the Japanese announcers. Let's see if I can find his name. Everyone's like, "Would you even know him if I said him?" No. But yeah, it's like play-by-play commentary, so it's kind of cool. But realistically, I'm like, I would have this turned off
I
probably
probably
after the
have it. Yeah,
first
probably have it
10
turned
minutes if
off.
you were to
Yeah,
get. But
yeah.
if they have guest people do it, that'll be kind of cool.
Would you pay for DLC announcer
Oh,
packs?
dude, you know what? If
That'd be
say if
fun.
they
That'd be
got
fun. Yeah.
like because I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Dota, and Dota got the guy from NBA Jam
Oh,
to
really?
do all of the to do all the announcements, and it was so funny. I listened to literally almost 5 minutes of just the dude saying lines, and I was laughing. It was wonderful. It's like I would love something like that too.
Yeah. They got the voice actor from Jensen from Deus Ex, the new
Mm-hmm.
ones, to
Yeah,
do a voice pack. I think for Dota as well. I mean, I'm not sure, but he did a voice pack and he did it like in character.
right.
But he was so deadpan about it. Like it was so funny. Yeah.
Like yeah, like stuff like that. I feel like they're at least opening themselves up for more possibilities with this game.
Uh-huh.
And I gotta say, out of I I love watching Street Fighter. It was a huge part of my college life, watching all the tournaments, that and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, King of Fighters, 13, all of that. But 5 just didn't do it for me. And I watched a little bit, but I'm really curious, like really hyped to actually start just watching matches. I'm not gonna be able to play Street Fighter, that well, but just like I like watching a lot of Strive matches, I know I'm gonna enjoy watching this. You know. Um, but yeah, I think that's kind of it for Street Fighter. They did have the roster, the entire lineup leak, which apparently isn't anything new for Capcom fighting games. Apparently, I don't know, but hey.
Yeah, I didn't even get to see the leak, but whatever. I mean, I don't think the leak was intentional. I think the Street Fighter Twitter actually acknowledged it. It was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, they said something just like, hey, like
We're
I
in
don't
this
know.
together or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Because I think overall this was received really well. This
yep.
game was like the announcement was received really well. And even with the new characters, we saw Jamie. We also saw there's a new character in the background, Kimberly. Just people are like, who's going to be here? Who's coming back? Who are these people? The new people are almost like apprentices. Jamie is a fan of Yun and Yang, like a super fan.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
and yeah. So, anyways, moving on. What else was at the state of play that caught your eye? I mean, there wasn't too much, honestly. If we break it down, it
Yeah, I
wasn't
would
really a lot.
say
It wasn't
just
really.
the other two things that really caught my eye after that was just like Spider-Man coming to PC and then FF16. I'm actually wearing a 16 shirt right now. This is like unintentional actually,
Oh,
but yeah, I'm
nice,
wearing.
nice. Yeah,
And I didn't plan
we're
that, but yeah.
pre promoting. There we go. It's like pre promoting. Yeah, I mean, after that, I mean, they focused a little bit on VR, and that was Horizon Call of the Mountain.
I skipped like immediately past that. I was like, okay, yeah,
Oh yeah, I mean, like watching the show, it
yeah.
was literally all within the first five. It followed right after Resident Evil, so it was just kind
Oh,
of
okay, yeah.
there. And
I was sleeping, so I just in terms of the written news, I just skimmed it. I didn't even read it.
so yeah, they announced that. Well, they showed more of that, and yeah, the Callisto Protocol got gameplay, which looks very Dead Space. It looks like a mature Dead Space. I ain't gonna lie, it's just
I
like
think isn't it the same developers?
it's the original, yeah, the original creator, yeah, which it's Dead Space
So
like.
Dead Space then, yeah.
It's Dead Space. That's all I can say. If I put it up on the screen, you'd be like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that's Dead Space, all right.
it's fucking Dead Space." But yeah, we can talk about this FF16 since you got the shirt on. Since you got the shirt, you repping
Yeah.
unintentionally. FF16. We were hoping it would be here, and we kind of had a feeling it would be here just because of, well,
They said the
Homeboy
trailer
said
was
it's coming
done.
soon. It's
Yeah.
done. Like,
Yeah,
where
and
else are they gonna
then
show this?
okay, well when are they gonna show this trailer?
Right,
So
right.
definitely had a feeling it would show up, and it did. Look at that.
And it
Did you
did.
see the trailer? What do you think?
I at first I didn't know what to expect. As soon as you saw Yoshi on screen, it was like, oh shit, here we go, let's get it.
Yoshi,
And
baby.
I knew it was the end of the show. I watched it that morning, and I was just like doing a kind of a watch along with another streamer, and all of a sudden, man, and then it comes on stream, we getting all hype. I'm like, oh man, I literally got up out of my bed at this point. Like I sat up because I was like, okay, I'm ready, I'm ready for this trailer.
Yep.
And I was not expecting it to be super summon focused, but you know what? I flipping loved it. I loved it. I love
Yeah,
the ending when they're saying the summons names too. I literally watched this trailer
that
like
was
four
pretty
or
cool. That
five
was pretty
times,
cool. Yeah,
and
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff they reveal in this gameplay. There's a lot of stuff that's
yeah,
here that tells a lot about the game.
yeah. So a couple things that stood out to me with the trailer is that it doesn't even look like you have a party. It looks like it's all solo combat
You
now.
do not. I think it's confirmed.
Um,
You don't have a
Very
party.
fast paced. They said like, one of the battle designers from DMC5 is working on this game, and I think it's obvious now. You can really see some action, um, action game influences for the combat here. It does feel like, I don't know, so you can see you have abilities that appear to be mapped to your face buttons. So you can see that in the bottom right corner of the screen during the gameplay scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have abilities mapped to your face buttons, and then you have your health bar up top, and you have your list of your items in the bottom left. So in terms of like a HUD, I would say if you've been playing a lot of Elden Ring, this is kind of familiar. Like it looks kind of like a
Oh god.
typical,
Like,
modern action game now, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It.
So
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, the top
yeah,
left, like you said, like where your health bar is, you have your summons, and
you have summons there.
You're
Yeah.
switching between the summons move sets.
Yeah.
Is
So
what's
those are
happening.
like that's kind of like I mean, it's kind of like Stranger Paradise actually, because you can change your jobs on the fly.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's or even like a Devil May Cry, right? When you're
Yeah,
changing
like a
between the
style to
styles.
style change. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what's happening, and I haven't played 13.3, which does have a single
It's kind of like that.
protagonist.
Yeah, yeah, it is kind of like that. 13.3 is way slower, I would say, and
Okay.
you have to. So it looks like in the gameplay here, you have an ATB gauge, but I'm
Hmm.
not sure how that meter is managed at this time. I don't know how it works right now. But in 13.3, Lightning Returns rather, you have an ATB gauge and you can't do anything unless you have ATB for it. I guess kind of like your spells in 7 Remake, right?
Hmm. Um,
Um, so it might be the same. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't even
the
look like you have a normal attack. It looks like all your attacks are just like.
the
Well, you do have a
summons.
normal attack. I can see that. Yeah, you have a normal attack. It's mapped to what looks like square, actually.
Yeah. Um,
So,
I mean,
so
it's
that's
pretty.
probably
Oh, sorry. Continue.
yeah. That's probably like where you can, I presume, maybe build meter, and then your meter is spent on your other face button attacks. So that's combat. The only other thing that stood out to me was near the end of the trailer where they have the summons fighting. It
Hmm.
looks like it switches to an entirely different type of gameplay because
It's completely different. Yeah.
you no longer have like your abilities on your face buttons. You just have what looks like a kaiju battle game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about this
Yeah,
because like the lower part where, well, the part where you're actually just fighting people one on one, you have the stagger gauge, that sort of thing is there. But for the summon battles, it's kind of like, and even some of these more cinematic battles, I feel like I don't know how to feel if it's going to be
yeah.
something like
You
a
just
Kingdom
have two
Hearts.
health bars, right?
Yeah, it's just two health bars. Like I don't know if this is going to be like a
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, very cinematic. Some things are happening on screen. You are they just button prompts that you're going to be pressing, or are you actually choosing?
Yeah, I'm so confused about these summon fights here on screen where it has the two different summons, like Ifrit versus Titan or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah,
All you see are health bars. So like, wow, how does this part of the battle work? You know what I mean?
and we know from the story that each of these people who are special within this world wield a summon, right? So it's not like you're going to be fighting summon to summon every other battle. It's going to be specifically
Those are
main
probably
plot
boss.
points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are boss fights.
yeah,
Yeah,
those are boss fights. So I don't know how to feel about them because there's not enough information. They look
yeah.
cool, but are they just cinematics? With button
Oh, are they
prompts.
like parts of a bigger boss fight?
Or are they
Yeah, I
parts
don't
of a
know.
bigger boss fight?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only question I have. That's the one thing that crossed my mind is when we saw these summon versus summon parts of the trailer,
Mhm.
and there's no longer items in the bottom left. You don't have abilities in the bottom right. You don't even have, what looks like your ATB gauge. It's just like, what is happening on screen right here? Like, what is this part of the fight?
Yeah.
But in terms of just a normal combat, this looks incredibly, I don't know, flashy. This looks pretty fast paced and fun. I think I would probably have a lot of fun with this game. Um, I don't know how people are going to react to that. I mean, because I know there are some people who are just like, I just want a turn-based Final Fantasy,
Yeah, this
and
is
I don't
this.
think that era. I don't think it's going to happen anymore. You know,
There's
like
two things with Final Fantasy that are happening right now. One, we have these experiments, right? Stranger of Paradise, and even to this one is kind of an experiment, but not so much. We did have. This is a single party member type deal. Some people want their party
yeah,
members.
yeah.
Um,
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first Final Fantasy with like no party,
yeah.
right?
I like I said, I didn't play 13.3,
I'm
so I
sorry.
don't know, but
Lightning Returns. Lightning Returns is
but
just
th-
lightning.
but I guess we have to really think about like who all played 13.3. Let's get
Yeah, Lightning Returns.
like
But the Lightning
who made it
Returns
that far to
is a
Lightning
single.
Returns.
Yeah, mainline though. I mean, it's kind of a mainline game, but mainline game, it's never been this way. Like 1 through 10, obviously, is very traditional Final Fantasy. That's all turn
Mm-hmm.
based. That's all party member. 11 MMO. 12
12
was 12. You
party.
still have a party. You
Yeah.
still have a party for that. 13 you have a
13 you have a
party.
party.
14's an MMO, 15 you have a party. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it like I said, it's very dark in tone as well. I think
yeah. But back to full fantasy, no technology in sight.
which people are really excited about that. I heard people are like, I'm just glad that it's going back to
Full
fantasy,
fantasy,
full
yeah, high
fantasy.
fantasy, yeah.
Uh, but the most disappointing thing, and this is what we got wrong for sure. I don't want to say wrong, but we thought maybe spring 2023 at the latest would be when they have the launch for the game. The game comes out maybe spring 2023 at the latest, based off the comments of saying they're just polishing the game. But it's summer 2023, and well, I
I
mean,
think that's
so
good. That's
long.
a conservative date because I was always my initial guess was that it was going to the initial date was going to be like winter 2022
Mm-hmm.
and then get delayed because like a lot of games are going to get like I feel like there's always getting delayed now. But
Yeah,
just
yeah.
by putting it at summer 2023, that gives them a full year to get the game
Really polish
ready.
it.
Yeah, hopefully we won't see a delay. It's still obviously possible, but my guess was that end of this year, then delayed for a couple of months. But this seems very attainable. Besides, Square's working on a ton of stuff right now. I saw an article on IGN today about like here's all the games that Square's working on. It's like 7 games.
And I'm wondering if we got really curious as to why on earth Square is putting out so many games this quarter, and not this quarter, but this
Like this year.
fiscal year. Yeah, because maybe they knew of course this is coming the next fiscal year. So outside of Final Fantasy 14 profits, like they put
What
out
do
a
they
lot
have?
of
What do they have
yeah.
going?
What yeah, I feel like they're trying to rush to make a bunch of money for whatever their estimates were. I have no clue because no one really asked for a Star Ocean, a Dios Field. What's the other one? The Valkyrie
Valkyrie profile,
profile. Some of these are great
Elysium, or
series or
whatever. Yeah.
whatever, but like they're all coming within months of each other, and
I
then
think.
Forspoken.
Yeah, I don't think Square has a huge title this year.
Yeah,
Um, I think 16 is going to be their next big title, but that's not for another year. So obviously, it's going to be out of this year's profit projection.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think they need something to like make up their projections. And if they don't have a single title to crush it, it's got to be just a bunch of these smaller ones.
Yeah, yeah. We even
I
had
don't
the
know.
Yoko Taro thing this year too. The
Oh,
card
Voice of Cards, whatever.
Voice of
Yeah,
Cards. Yeah, we had a bunch of I think that dungeon crawler game was this year too. The random
yeah, it
dungeon
was. Yeah,
generator.
yeah,
Like yeah, there's so many games that are just like, whoa, bro, y'all put out a lot of stuff, which is
yeah.
is nice. Some of it was quality, some of it was just like, okay, Chocobo Racing. We didn't even know
Oh, I forgot about that too.
it
Yeah.
died. It died just like Babylon's Fall. That's
Oh
so
yeah.
rough.
The
Um,
season 2's coming out.
Season 2 is coming out. I think it's coming
Yeah.
out fairly soon. But this game looks beautiful. They got some great screenshots. If you want to download the press kit or just go to the website and look at this is all in game. Um, it's definitely looking beautiful. Game's looking good.
Yeah, it's just confirmed for PlayStation 5 right now, right?
Yeah,
No PS4
PS5
version.
only.
Yeah, and I think probably it's going to be PC version in maybe 2024 at the earliest, I'm guessing.
Probably
Yeah.
maybe a year out or something. It
Because they
does
did,
beg to. Oh,
yeah, there was that mention of PC release at the initial trailer, but then I think they like unannounced it. But it's probably going to be an FF7 kind of situation where it's exclusive for 1 year.
Speaking of FF7 Part 2, we do know, I believe they did say, like, we're going to hear some stuff about FF7, of course, coming up because of the anniversary, but in
So
terms
yeah, they
of
didn't say anything.
when this game is, FF7 Part 2 Remake is coming out, we always knew it would be after FF16.
So 2024 at the earliest.
We might be 2024 with that.
Yeah.
I just want well, you know what? Hopefully it's going to be a much more sizable game, so, you know.
It'll probably be like another 40 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing.
I hope it's 100. I hope we get a hundo, 100.
I feel like a Persona 5 level.
Give
of
us the
length.
Persona level.
I think because FF7 Remake is still 40 to 45 hours for a typical playthrough.
And it's like timed out too. Like you really can just. I mean, you can't really miss it too hard, in terms of you can go past
the
it
playtime?
the playtime. It's kind of paced.
If you go past 45 hours, I'm guessing that means you spent a shitload of time in the Colosseum.
Yeah.
And possibly the VR fights.
Mm-hmm.
But putting that aside, there's like nowhere else for you to spend time
Time. Yeah,
unless you're
there's
doing a
not.
shitload of squats for some reason.
You're
Like,
just trying to get that
yeah,
perfect. I mean, that's what that new I think was a new game plus or like the after part of it to kind of get everything and perfect everything. The
yeah.
different.
There's
That's what that
there's
was for.
no other place for you to sink time. So typically that's gonna take you about 45 hours, and I think part two is probably gonna be I'm gonna say about anywhere between 40 to 50 hours as well. I don't know if there's
Hmm.
gonna be a part three. I to be honest, I kind of hope there is no part three. Just
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 give
wrap
us
it up.
the rest of the whole game. Like,
Just wrap it up with two. Make a really good sequel, like killer sequel, and then that'll be the perfect end to I think the remake storyline.
that would be crazy if they. Well, I mean, you know what? It's not too crazy, right? Because honestly, the actual game of Final Fantasy VII is not 90 hours in and of itself, right?
You mean
Um,
OG7?
yeah, OG7. It's not like the
OG7
whole
is like
game.
50 hours. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
50 hours.
yeah. So they
Yeah.
can literally tell. That's very feasible. It's very feasible.
Yeah, so the reason why remake is 50 hour or 40 hours is because they just like really stretched out. And that's not putting it fairly. I would say they rewrote the whole like Midgard chapter.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the OG7 is like 50 hours in case anyone forgot. So it's in terms of length of time, it's the same amount of time. So we get like now we get basically double or more of content, with remake. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's exciting when we get to part two. So yeah, whenever that, I guess in 2 years minimum.
2 years. Yeah, yeah.
I'll be dead by then, man. Jesus.
Um, you want to play your music? You want to come play?
Yeah.
Like this video was never monetized at all. It was just what we. It's just a dream. It's just a dream. But yeah, that pretty much covers all the major announcements. I know Stray was shown
That's
for
a fun
everyone.
game. I didn't get that.
Yeah, I probably will.
Yeah, I
And
think we
if
get it
you
too
have,
on PC though.
yeah, I'll get on PC as well. I don't have a
Yeah.
PS5. If you have a one, I think is it the top tier membership? The essential is it not essentials, but whatever top tier PlayStation Plus is, you get
The
it day
like
one.
the premium plus or whatever, the PP.
Yeah, the PPE. the That's gonna be a day one launch title for that service. So that's nice.
Yeah, I think I'll get it on PC. It looks really good. Like visually, it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks. I'm trying to find it in the trailer. Because that game, I mean, people really wanted it anyways. Annapurna Publishing. Annapurna does a lot. I love a lot of the games that they publish. But yeah, it looks like the cat walking simulator that you didn't, um, well, that you wanted.
It has
The
puzzles
cyberpunk.
and combat actually. So yeah,
Yeah, it does. It definitely has some puzzles in there. The combat,
so
it's like kitty can't die, right?
I don't know if he can die or not, but yeah.
Someone was saying if that cat doesn't have 9 lives in the game until the game is over, that would be a
I
shame.
think one thing I noticed about the trailer is that the animations for these robots are really good. The
They're
way
very
that they,
flexible.
the way that they like, what's the word? Just act.
Hmm.
Like when they kind of get surprised by the cat or they're trying to run away from the cat, the way that they move is very
Oh,
well animated.
how they
Yeah,
emote. Yeah, emote their
yeah,
emotions. Yeah, yeah.
it's extremely good, extremely good. So that kind of surprised me in a good way. I was like, well, the animation on that is super good. It's only like $30 on Steam, so it's not that bad.
It's not bad, and it's coming out soon. July,
July,
sometime
yeah,
July 19th.
yeah,
So, if anyone's looking forward to that game, well, it's what that's probably going to be a great game for people to watch. If you want to watch you play it or watch anyone play that game, that's going to be a fun one to watch. It's also going to be a fun one to play if you want to play with your family and just have them look at it. It's that's kind of like one of those games that you're like, hey, it's nice. That's nice.
yeah. I might stream it actually.
That would be a great one to stream. That would be
Yeah,
a great one to stream. Um, but yeah, that was pretty much it. There's one last game that was the roller derby fudge. I don't know if you saw the trailer for this one. There's two more indie games, but this game was like, what is this?
no,
It
I
was
didn't see this.
oh yeah, it's basically some roller derby and Tony Hawk and shooting.
That looks cool.
I kid you not. I don't know
That
what the
looks cool
story is,
though.
but
Yeah, I like that. Well, that looks
it's
crazy, dude. Oh, I'm
it's
gonna
got
play
like
it.
a
That
cool,
looks...
yeah, it's got like a cool
Holy
style.
shit!
I
Oh
thought
my
you were
god!
right. I think this was like everyone walked out like what is this?
Whoa, that looks
I didn't.
awesome.
What the heck is this? Jet Set Radio, not radio slash
With
Tony Hawk
guns,
slash gun
yeah.
slash like is there
Oh
multiplayer
my
in there? What the fuck is this
god.
game?
Oh my god, that looks awesome. Holy shit.
And there could be something to be said about the showcase, like whereas we were excited about Resident Evil, we're excited about Final Fantasy. These are also things that we were waiting to see. Eventually, we were hoping to see, but at the same time, like it's not exactly gonna make or break us. We're happy to see it, but some people were like, "Hey, this isn't my genre. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of these type of games." So this showcase for some people was just like, just a letdown. You know,
Uh-huh.
so it's kind of interesting to
Yeah, I
see
was
that
expecting
divide.
some more stuff. I was expecting God of War actually. God of War didn't show up. Some more footage from Ragnarok and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, but no, we didn't get it. But we got. Well, I think what we got is pretty cool. We got a decent showing of stuff.
Yeah, we got a decent
Um,
showing. It was
yeah,
very
there's more events within the coming months.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just because we didn't see stuff now doesn't mean we're not gonna see it. This
Maybe
year.
maybe we'll get it at the summer games
December Game
fest.
Fest. Gamescom is happening this year, probably.
Yeah, Gamescom. So those are Summer Games Fest is going to be on the 12th. I think that's no the 9th, I believe 9th. And then Microsoft Showcase is going to be on the 12th. So
Soon, yeah, and then TGS in about half a year,
true. And I forgot
right?
this game.
Oh, TGS in 3 months?
3 months. 3 months. There we go.
What? Oh no, that's
3 months.
soon actually. Oh what? Oh
The
shit.
3 month change right there. 3 months.
Oh, I was like TGS is like half a year from now. I go worry about that in a bit. I go
We'll
it's
worry
three
about that in
months from now.
December.
Never. Yeah,
We'll
I'm worrying about that now.
December.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice and crispy. Not crispy, but the air will be crispy on the inside.
Oh my god, I
Uh,
can't believe TGS in
yeah,
3 months.
it's close. All these things are closing in. So overall, like like I said, I watched this press conference thing. I watched it twice. I almost watched it a third time. Just because I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that they showed. But the highlights for me were probably going to be Final Fantasy 16 and Street Fighter 6. Honestly, is my number one. I just wasn't
Oh,
expecting to see it that much of it. You know what? I wasn't expecting to see it one, and I wasn't expecting to see that much of it.
yeah, I didn't even think 16 was gonna, or not 16, sorry, 6. Was gonna. I knew it is real. They announced it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Back
for
in
some
February,
reason,
it was there.
yeah,
It wasn't
and I was like, what are they gonna show? What is Capcom's gonna be there? What is Capcom showing? And like 6 was just not even in my mind,
in my mind, right? I thought it was gonna be a little bit further off. And that game is coming to PS4, PS5,
PS4, yeah, Xbox,
Steam, Xbox Series S and X, but not Xbox One.
everything that's not a Switch, basically.
Yeah, and no Xbox One, for whatever reason.
Wait, it's coming to PS4, but not Xbox
But
One.
not Xbox One. It's on their site. There's no Xbox One. It has everything else. Xbox Series SX, no one. So I don't know.
But PS4. That's
But
weird.
PS4, PS5, yeah.
That's
And
weird.
assume I don't know if it's crossplay or not, but hey, if it's crossplay between all that, and I think they are going to try to do that. That's huge. All we need now is rollback, crossplay, good matchmaking, skill base, whatever.
They'll
How
probably
that's
do rollback
implemented.
at least. I think rollback is the new standard for
It's the
fighting
new
games going
standard.
forward.
It's
Yeah.
the new standard. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, some other big news was, of course, Pokemon. I think it was a couple days before
Oh yeah,
that
the new
Tuesday.
trailer too. Yep.
The new trailer dropped, and I mean, you're the Pokemon expert out of both of us. What'd you think? There's a lot of stuff that's happening in the trailer, and I think
Yeah, I
step
don't know. It's
forward.
good to see some gameplay. So we got to see a little more of the UI, which is basically kind of what I expected of
Mm-hmm.
this video game. Um, it was nice to see the co-op function. They basically just said like up to you and 3 other people can adventure together. I'm not 100% sure how the co-op's gonna work. I don't know if it's an instance into your game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know if anything that you capture or any items you get will transfer back to your save. Probably, maybe, I'm not sure. But they basically showed off. You can play with friends. they also showed that you can customize your trainer. Thank God, because I was
Oh,
so afraid I was
you
gonna
were
be
worried about you'd
yeah.
have to play in those school uniforms.
Yeah. So they did show off some trainer custom because it's like you and your friends and all these people look different, different
You
skin
you
tones, different hairstyles, different clothes, and I'm like, oh, thank God, like I don't need to look like a stupid schoolboy, for the whole
all
time.
these school kids, all these 30-year-old school kids. That's what it actually is.
Yes.
The real
So
talk.
basically. So I'm happy that we get the customization. It also shows the character like sneak walking, which is something that you could do in Arceus. You
Hmm.
can definitely see the Arceus influence here. I don't know if the capture mechanic is going to be the exact same as it is from Arceus. If so, that'd be very fun. I had a very fun time playing Arceus because just running around the world and chucking Pokeballs.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, it's good. I think if you played Pokemon, it was a good trailer just to see like here's systems you're familiar with in this game in this context.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
showed like how do you get into a trainer battle. It just shows someone walking up to a trainer. Trainer battle starts immediately. They tease how trading works. Looks like you walk up to your friend,
Hmm.
probably initiate a trade from there. And then the end of the trailer shows the two box legendaries. And
Yes.
yeah,
The
and I
two
think I
boxes.
was
The two box
totally
legendary.
sold. I was sold on Scarlet initially,
Are you
and
going with
then
Cordon?
yeah, no, well, after seeing the box
Or
legendaries, I'm like, I have to get Violet now, I think, because that thing is so cool looking.
it's so the two box legendaries, Cordon and Miradon.
Yeah,
I hope I said that
Miraidon, I
correctly.
think. Yeah,
Miraidon, like
well, like
they
future, right? Japanese.
they're like freaking mecha infused Pokemon, kind of a
So
little
I
bit
think I
something.
think the Scarlet Legendary doesn't look like it has too much like technology in it,
Mm-hmm.
but the if you look at the Violet Legendary,
The
his
eyes are
eyes,
digitized.
yeah, he
It's
doesn't
like
even
an
have real
LED
eyes.
eyes. It's got
Yeah, yeah,
LED eyes. What
yeah.
the heck? I just
Yeah, and
noticed that too.
he like doesn't even have legs. He has jet engines,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's taken a form of Valstrax or any other
Yeah,
of
he
the.
doesn't even have legs. And I was like, man, that's a sick design. That looks cool.
But what you can
So I might
see,
get
like, I didn't realize this, but you can see like just on the Scarlet Pokemon. I think that's Scarlet, right? The red one, the red,
yeah, the
the red,
scales.
the scales. He's got scales, but the other one, like I said, with
Like a texture,
not
it's
only
carbon fiber. It's like carbon
it's
fiber,
carbon
right?
fiber. Yeah, yeah. It's like they
Yeah,
made a legendary. Someone
yeah,
actually created a legendary or something.
yeah. So I'm
Um,
super like, I don't know. I just love that design. I think it looks so cool. So
I'm
um,
I'm
yeah,
on the
just
Corridon. I'm on
based
Team
on
Corridon.
you want Scarlet.
He looks too awesome. Dude looks like
He
he's
looks
ready
cool.
to
No,
throw
yeah,
down. He looks
yeah,
hype.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I think they both look good. He's got a great design. But I think I just like Violet like a little bit more the Miraidon, so I'm probably gonna pick up Violet. Also, you get two different professors depending on your
Uh oh. Uh
on
oh.
your
I have a question for you.
yeah.
Um, who you rooting for? Whose team you gonna be on?
I don't know. I guess they're
they
both yeah good looking.
freaking
Honestly,
they're both good looking, but Turo scares me. Turo's like out
what?
of some like um what game am I trying to think of? It's like kind of one of those Barbie games or some game that's
Wait,
like
what?
I don't know. He doesn't look like he's from Pokemon. I don't know why.
What
Something
Barbie game have you played?
he looks like he's a professional soccer player or something. He
That's
looks
cool with
too
me.
real. He looks too real, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I'll go with Turo. Yeah. What's the female's name?
Sada. Sada.
Soda.
Sada. She's got
Okay.
fangs.
Yeah, it's Sada. Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why she has
She's.
fangs, but
I mean, because she's got like a definitely like a prehistoric vibe going on, right?
well, it looks like they're made they're themed at least after the two legendary
The
Pokemon.
legendaries, yeah. So
Yeah,
she's got
yeah.
like a prehistoric vibe, and he's got the futuristic like skin type, whatever
Oh, you know
cyber
what?
suit. Yeah.
No, no, it's like Ben 10 or something. It's like a
It
Cartoon
does
Network
kind of
cartoon
yeah.
or something.
It is kind of like a
That
Ben 10 kind of thing going on. Yeah.
that's what was hitting me. That's what it was. Okay, not the Barbie thing.
I don't know what
Everyone's
Barbie
like,
game have you
Trix,
played?
what the
Yeah.
heck are you playing, man?
Yeah. What Barbie game?
Barbie's time. I don't know. There's probably one of
Horse
those
time?
somewhere.
Barbie's horse time? Don't
There,
Google that, by the way.
don't. But there is a game with like Barbie's horse something. Um, back on DS, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
don't
believe you. Yeah, I
don't
believe you on that one. Yeah.
ask. And then we also have another your friend, your trainer friend, Nimona.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She looks like
She
not a
looks
grade
cool.
schooler. She looks a little bit older,
She's like
right?
a yeah, little more bit older than the rest of the kids.
A grade schooler. Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, she'll be with you. I
I
guess in
bet
both
you she's
versions,
the
I believe.
champion. Twist story plot. She's actually the champion of the region.
So your friend is the champion, but she gets you into Pokemon or something.
Possibly, yeah.
Man, kids, watch out. You never know who your friends are until it's too
Champion,
late.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what happens. I'll pick up, obviously one of these games. Which one you're gonna get, Scarlet? You think for that box legendary?
yeah, if I'm getting the legendaries, I want to get Scarlet. I want to get Scarlet.
You haven't even played like
Yeah, but that's the
Arceus, right?
problem. I still have to go to Arceus. I still have to do Sun and Moon. What the heck is
You don't
wrong?
have to. You don't have to.
I don't have
There's no
to, but
reason
I
why
just
you have to. Yeah.
like it just feels. At this point, I feel like it's almost like there's so much stuff that I'm just missing. Even though you're not technically missing anything, it's not like the story's continued. It's like you might get some lore that you might be appreciative of, but it's not
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
play
I
one,
think,
two, three,
yeah,
four.
if you're gonna jump into Pokemon now in preparation for Scarlet Violet, just pick up Arceus. It's like a pretty solid 30-hour, 40-hour romp through a modern Pokemon game. I wouldn't say like don't force yourself to pick up Sword and Shield or whatever, despite the fact that that's the most recent mainline Pokemon game, right?
Yeah, 2019,
Um,
which wasn't that far back.
yeah, it's 2019, I guess, right? That. But anyways, like don't force yourself to pick up Sword and Shield if you don't really want to play it. Just pick up
Mm-mm.
Arceus. It's the newest game with the most gigantic leap forward in terms of gameplay mechanics. It's very inviting for new players, and I think that'll get you prepped perfectly for Scarlet Violet. So yeah,
I want a Palmy. I don't know how to say that, but Palmy.
Pomp. It's probably Palmy. Yeah,
Palmy looks cute. I didn't know that was electricity. I thought it was fire, but okay.
this kind of does
Oh,
look like fire. Yeah.
oh, Nimona uses my. Oh, gosh, why does Nimona have all the? This thing looks amazing. I want it. Thick fur that stores electricity. This is my friend.
An electric mouse. How
How
wow.
original.
How novel. Yeah.
There's got to be electric mouse everywhere in the world.
So many electric mice Pokemon already. Jesus.
Oh man, but yeah, that is the news from Pokemon, and I think people were excited about it. So we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be out November. Is that 19th? As I'm scrolling, I'm furiously scrolling this to see when it comes out. I believe it's November 9th. No,
Yeah,
November 18th. There we go.
might be 19th in Japan. Maybe.
So pre-orders are up now. Go ahead, pre-order your digital version,
Or don't.
or your
It's just
physical.
it's not like it probably won't sell out. I wouldn't worry too much
It's
about
gonna
it.
sell out, everyone. It's the
Yeah.
digital version's gonna sell
What
out.
did sell out in Japan when it came out? Octopath Traveler.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Yoruba. This is years ago, but I went to Yodobashi to pick up Octopath.
Uh huh.
And physical copies had sold out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's not the game
did
wasn't
not
even like
expect
that.
that.
Like yeah, the game wasn't even that like well received, but it sold out. Um, True story. So I had to wait a little bit to get a physical copy.
Wow. Well, that is a true story there, and I think that's gonna do it for us. We pretty much talked about everything. Not too much else. Spider-Man sales
Oh yeah, on
reached 33
PC.
million.
If you were
I
like,
am
I want to
ready.
play Spider-Man.
That's me. That's me.
You played it on PS4, right?
No,
You never
no,
played it at all?
I never
No?
played it at all, and I,
And
I just
now
can't
you're like,
stand. I can't
what
stand.
console?
I cannot stand the sound of the fan, and I can't
of your
stand the
of your
fact that
PS4.
sometimes I can see it just at that 30 FPS, or I can see it just
Have you
kind
ever
of chugging along.
considered have you ever I mean it's gonna be summer soon in Japan, but I bet you in the wintertime, if you like open your window and just like rest your PS4 like right on the window still and like close the window so it's just the fans are ejecting air outside, I wonder if it would help at all.
I wish my window
Because
is an
number
entire
one, it would
door.
keep it cold, and number two, you wouldn't even hear the fans because the fans are outside. You wouldn't even hear it. Yeah,
If
I
I
wonder if
could,
that
I
would help.
would. If I could, I would.
You think someone would steal your PS4? Someone's gonna walk by and be like, "Oh,
Someone,
give me that."
yeah, I live on the second floor or something and be like, no one steals it. Then just have it.
That's so funny. Or just like slips out and falls. Your PS4 falls to the ground.
Yeah, I'm
But no,
excited. I'll
yeah,
be playing it.
yeah. Instead of ramping up your PS4 fans, you can work your PC extra hard. if the game
Exactly.
is that demand. I think it will. I think they're tweaking it for PC performance because they did that for God of War, right? They improved it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Horizon ran really fine too. I didn't get it on Steam. I
Yeah,
got it on Epic, but it ran perfect. I didn't have
yeah.
any
So
issues.
I think we're gonna see the store page in a couple of days here for both Epic Games and for Steam. So you're gonna wish us that soon. I think you can do it in a bit.
I'm going to. I'm going to. But if you want to get a PS5, I saw some on Amazon, $700 or
Oh
700
yeah,
yen or not a yen.
re reselling obviously, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did Amazon ever just sell it, straight up recently, or no? It's always been Shishan.
They probably have. They go in little small batches. I've seen them like alert for it, but I've never seen it actually when I go onto the page.
Yeah, I'm curious about like how Amazon has because I don't we talked about this on the podcast before, right? But like you have
Mhm.
to lottery for your PS5 here in Japan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And Amazon, as far as I know, Amazon doesn't do a lottery system. I think they just like will, without notice, sell it, right? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think they just sell it. Just you just buy it and that's it.
Yeah, I'm looking on Amazon right now, and it is for Nanaman, so $750 basically right now, just from a scalper essentially. But so if you really
That's
wanted a
scalpers.
PS5, I could get one. I could add this to my
You
cart.
could add it to your
I
cart.
won't.
Yeah, you can feel
I
special,
won't. I
which
won't. Yeah.
we won't. We won't.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about the PSVR next time. The price
Yeah.
point what they might launch that at. I was talking about that on stream, but um, yeah, I think that'll do it for us this week. Great episode as always. Remember to follow us on our socials and also to subscribe to us on YouTube if you're listening on Amazon podcast. Why do I call it Amazon Podcast? Audible,
Yep.
Spotify, iTunes, Google Play
Apple
Podcasts,
Podcast.
Apple
Yeah.
Podcast. There we go. If you're listening to those, leave a review, spread the word, and I mean, we'll catch you next week for some more action. Root, you got anything else you want to say? Or Alex, you got anything else you want to say?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I guess make sure make sure your chicken is cooked all throughout.
That ever happen?
So does that ever happen to me?
Are you just now cooking your chicken all the way?
I usually cook my chicken all the way, I would say. Usually. Have you ever accidentally undercooked your chicken and you're just like, fuck it, I'm too hungry? No?
I won't admit. I have no comment to that one. I have no comment.
That's so
No.
funny.
Oh
my
I think
God.
I've always cooked it all the way through.
Oh. I think a few times I was eating it and I was like, oh, fuck. And I
You
go
tasted
back
like
to
a
the
chewy spot or something. You're like,
No, it's like really sad, and I'm like, oh damn it. So I go back to the kitchen and I'll just like dump the chicken back onto the pan and just like grill it really hard for like 10 seconds, and I'll be like, all right, good enough, and then I'll put it back in my mouth. But yeah,
I mean, you've had it though in Japan though, the raw chicken,
I have had
like
raw
the
chicken.
the
Yes,
slightly cooked on the side.
yeah. In
Yeah,
Japan, I've eaten that. I'm obviously alive. So
I'm alive. Yeah,
yeah.
that raw
For
chicken heart.
now,
You have that raw chicken heart, man. That's
yeah. Japan's a good country. You can come soon if you're part of a tour group. But yeah,
exactly. Hero hopping into the chat. Thanks so much. We're about to we're about to close off.
we're
But
signing off. Yeah,
we're signing off. But thanks for hopping in here, and thanks to everyone else who's listened. If this is past tense and you're listening or listened, I don't know. I will catch you.
What
We
are you
will catch
saying?
You.
Yeah,
I am saying
Peace.
hit the music. We're gonna go on an outro, and we will be back next week for episode number 136 of the No Games Podcast, where we talk about probably what we've been playing because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
We've been playing new things.
I'm not me, but yeah.
Some of us have.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Peace.